Welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook, got Evan Veith, got a little Thursday Zoom reaction from Steve Sarkisian. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And of course, head to InsideTexas.com. Join for $1. We'll have a bunch of updates and analysis from Steve Sarkisian's Thursday Zoom. But there's so much more recruiting intel, the latest team inside info, and the best Texas Longhorns community. So go to that first link in our description. Sign up for just $1, and we'll throw in a full year subscription to The Athletic. Great time to sign up as Texas gets ready for conference play. Also, go to the link in our description with a ticket giveaway from our guy, Andre the Lawyer. He is giving away tickets for the Sam Houston State game, 2 tickets near the 40-yard line with a parking pass. Go like the post, follow Inside Texas and Andre the Lawyer, and tag your friends, 1 per comment, up to 5 entries. Hurry. The giveaway closes today at 5 p.m. The winner will be announced at 8 p.m. and the tickets will be sent through the app, through the official UT app. So, Evan, we just got done with Steve Sarkisian. A couple big things to talk about. Obviously, a lot of focus on Arch Manning, a lot of focus on maybe some younger players who may be seeing the field a little bit more as they're playing Sam Houston State, probably the worst of 3 Texas non-conference opponents. But he gave some good health updates. Eric Naline had a lot of these over on Inside Texas over on Tuesday night, and Sark echoed a lot of what he said. Important ones on Trey Wisner, probably doubtful. Trey Wisner is doubtful. DeAndre Moore, good to go. Jonah Williams available, which I know is really exciting. Which one of those things stood out most to you when Steve Sarkisian talked about team health?
I think the most important one is getting Demo back on the field. You just need to have your top-tier pass catchers ready to go for this game because it's a big one when it comes to diagnosing what you actually can do with Arch Manning. And I know our own Ian Boyd talked about how they're going to beat those flyover defenses over on Inside Texas today. And one of the things you can do is the quarterback run, but you don't want that to be the only thing, and that doesn't want to be the only thing you can show. So it's really important that Texas can get all 3 of their first frontline starting wide receivers out there. You could see they were missing more on Saturday last week. So you're hoping they can just get him involved in the offense, get them off the field by halftime if you can, save his health a little bit, but still have him be an important part of the team. And obviously, Emmett Mosley, he also said, is not going to play this week, or he didn't use those exact words, but said limited. He's been saying limited. They like the progression they've gotten from him. He said earlier this week that they would like to get him ready by Florida. Seems like he feels confident, by his words at least, that might be the case for him. But that's the main 2 I think are important is that wide receiver room health, and just generally the offense is the most important thing to note on right now. So you like to hear that at least one of the main producers is going to be able to play this week.
Sark was also on the SEC teleconference, I think, on Wednesday, and he was asked, will DeAndre Moore, Trey Wisner, and Alex January be available? And I think he said something like, I expect a couple of those guys to play, or I'm trying to find the exact quote, but maybe I won't be able to find it. Well, if Wisner is doubtful, then you can do some process of elimination, and look and see what he said about Moore. Didn't say anything about January, but I'm excited to see Mosley. And like you mentioned, excited to see Moore. Arch Manning obviously has been a very big topic this past week with just the whole everything about the Manning experience, his play, his performance, 10 straight incompletions. Pete Nakos had a great article on 3 today. We brought that over to Inside Texas about some opposing coaches' insight on what they're seeing with Arch. I wrote something looking at what Joel Klatt talked about that on the YouTube show this morning. But a couple of the big things that Sark mentioned was taking what he sees in practice from Arch, or what Arch does in practice, to the field. And I thought it was really interesting that he admitted, like, no, the Arch that I see in practice isn't what we've seen on the field in recent weeks.
Yeah, and that was exactly what he said. Someone asked him, I forgot who exactly, what are you seeing in practice, and is that different from there? He's like, well, I mean, yeah, it is a little different. We get a different version in practice, and he's liked that ability he's had on the field Monday through Thursday, the way with his Texas practice schedule. Sark has liked what he saw from Manning, and it's just that he's not translating that to Saturdays. And it sounds like he still feels that there's confidence to get that there this Saturday. This is the game. It kind of needs to happen, because if it's not happening here, can you expect it to happen against the SEC opponents? You can have your own opinion on that. But it sounds like the practice, he also made a note that the defense is having a little bit more fun than the offense, which I thought kind of a no-duh moment from Sarkisian. But yeah, the defense is playing well on the actual gridiron when they're out there on Saturdays. So, of course, there's a little bit more confidence coming from those players, but still that positive sound around Arch around practice. You just really never know until he gets back out on the field. But at least it doesn't, you have a coach who's confident in his quarterback, and there's pretty clearly no thoughts of benching or anything on those lines for Steve Sarkisian.
If you're looking for a home in the Austin area, there's only one number to call. That's Laura Baker at 512-784-0505. Laura's a part of the elite Andy Allen team at Keller Williams Realty. She's helped Longhorns find their dream homes all over Central Texas. You can just ask our very own Ian Boyd, who moved from Michigan to Texas with Laura's help. Whether you're searching in Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown, San Marcos, or even parts of the 254 or the 210, Laura has you covered. So call 512-784-0505, or you can email her at laura@andyallenteam.com. She's a Longhorn, a friend of Inside Texas, and the person you need to call to get your next home in Central Texas. Call Laura Baker today. Contact info is in the description.
One of the other things is Sark likes to say, what's the point to complete the pass? And sometimes it's just like, many people associate that with like sidearm motion and throwing from crazy platforms. And we've seen the problems that's presented over the past couple of weeks. There's a lot on Arch to complete the pass. That's very, very true. But I asked him, how can maybe some of the other guys help him out? Because the O-line's got to block. Running backs have to pick up in pass protection. That's something he mentioned about younger players, which we'll get to in a minute. There was a time on Saturday when Jordan Washington did not run the right route. Neither did Ryan Niblett. Like, there's some opportunity. And I think there is a little bit of some on Ryan Wingo, some on Arch about that early wheel route. Like, there are some instances where Arch is kind of doing the right thing, but he's not getting the help from the receivers he needs. There's also obviously Arch just duffing throws. We've seen that pretty obviously. But there are some things that his teammates can help him do. And I think Sark was cognizant of that. And I think, for him, I wouldn't be surprised if he took that as an opportunity to be like, hey, look, it's not all Arch. Like there is a lot on him. And, you've seen Ryan Leaf say something. I'm scrolling on the right and I saw David Ash said something on Thursday. Like, I think, and I we all went through the Chris Sims experience. Well, I don't know if you did, Evan, but one of the things is that, it takes 11 people, it takes 11 men on the field. It's not just a one-man operation. Coaches like to say one can mess up a play. Sometimes that's a quarterback, sometimes that's others, but it takes 11 working in sync. And I think that's something that Sark really wants to emphasize as a way to maybe take some pressure off of Arch, but just to note that not everything is his fault. And part of that has to do with, playing some younger players. We probably will see a lot of them this week. Kind of curious who you're excited to see from the maybe freshman and redshirt freshman and sophomore ranks.
Yeah, I asked Sark about the running backs because that's the point that I'm really kind of honing in on this game. That's one of the things in my 3-2-1 article that I wrote about. First thing that I know is that they're looking for that RB3 for this team, because you want to be able to go into Florida and Oklahoma and have one other kind of change of pace, maybe a little more explosive of a runner. And so Sark said that all three of them had good practices. They came off of some of the higher workloads they've ever had. I mean, James Simon, first career game, 17 carries. You didn't expect that. So he was just saying that these guys just need to be better about doing more than just running with the ball. It's not just, you're not in high school anymore where you can just kind of outskill these guys who you're going up against, because a lot of the guys you're playing are at most 3 stars. Maybe there's 1 4-star on the other team, but some of these guys aren't going to play college ball. So James Simon in particular needs to be someone who can do more than just go and run. He needs to be able to pass block well. He needs to be able to diagnose what a run block scheme looks like and how that goes against the defense that you're seeing. And if they're throwing stunts, finding the right hole or the right zone, any of those ideas all come into this thing where Sark needs these guys to show a little bit more this next week. He also mentioned ball security, which we all know that's Jarrett Gibson he's talking about right there. So I'm very interested to see how they split up this work. I would love it if we saw a very even, like 10-10-10 on number of carries for these three, and just say, who's the best one here? You guys ball out and see what happens. But I'm excited for that. I'd love to know who you're looking for.
If you win offense, I'll go defense. I'm excited to see some of the younger defensive backs. I think we'll have an opportunity to see a good chunk of them, maybe some moving around. But the three that really stand out to me, Sark has hyped up Jordan, maybe not hyped up, but talked up Jordan Johnson-Rubel a lot in the past couple of days. not just for special teams, but for some of the stuff he's done on the field. Same thing with, I learned it's Deuce Cunningham, Jonathan Cunningham. He's earned some more special team snaps. He saw some regular action in these past couple weeks. And then, hey, man, Jonah Williams is going to be playing football. I think he's been going through, his problems dating back to baseball season with the hamstring. Jim Schlossnagle, he had to play him. And I know if you're a football fan, you're like, well, he messes up your football team. Well, Jonah Williams is on the baseball team, and he was the best option at outfield. Like, you got to play the guy. And they did, and they went as far as they did because of a lot of Jonah's exploits. He still had that hamstring issue, and he is just now kind of getting back into the full swing of things with football. Sounds like he's ready to roll. And, when you talk about 5-star players, top 10, top 15 players, those are, you learn so much about them through the recruiting process that you get excited to see them. And that's where I'm at with seeing not just Jonah, but some other younger defensive backs, even Cade Phillips. That was another name that Sark mentioned. So that's it for the press conference for the Zoom report. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, head to InsideTexas.com. Get the best Texas Longhorns insight, recruiting intel, team coverage, and join the best community for just $1. And we'll throw in a full year of access to The Athletic to go along with it. So, Evan, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com.